Welcome to our tutorial on how to build your free websites with GrooveFunnels, and you can also consider this as your product launch guide and checklist. In fact, I will be including a checklist here so that you can download it, you can edit it, and you can use it as your guide when you launch your product and sell anything online. So let me take you to this checklist. All right, here it is, and showing you some notes here. So at first this may seem confusing to many of you, especially if you are new in this field. It may seem tedious and you may be discouraged at times, but I tell you, just continue with your work, because eventually it will become very easy because of, firstly, familiarity. You become familiar with the platform and with all its features. Now, aside from that, when you start to create your assets, your websites, and everything else, it will be easy because there are cloning features of pages. You can clone a website so that you don't have to start from scratch. You can even clone membership sites. You can clone an entire funnel and GrooveSell elements as well, and I'll explain GrooveSell later as well. And you can even save blocks for use in other websites. So for those of you who are not familiar, I'll be explaining about blocks and containers and elements in your websites. And secondly, I will be talking about tracking, how to track customers who visit your websites. Now, even if it will seem very confusing, I believe I would encourage you to really do it, to set up your tracking, even if you don't have any plans yet of running paid ads like Facebook ads or Google ads. I think you should really set it up, because eventually you will have to do these things, and it will be too late if you just set up all these tracking pixels and tags and you don't have any data with you. Now, I will tell you why later, and I will explain to you why it is very important. All right, so before anything else, I'd like to show you just the basics of creating your website at GroovePages. So let's assume that this white space here is your website. It's the entire website. Now, your entire website will consist of several blocks, and inside your blocks you will have containers, and inside those containers is where you put all those elements. All right, so let's say this is the block here, and this blue space is your element. This one here is the container. So what are elements? These are everything else that you put in your website that has a function, like buttons or carts or even your text or images or your videos. So if you want, for example, one block with two columns, then you put in one container with two columns and you put elements in each column. So this is just how these websites are formed at GroovePages. And I think with certain funnel builders, this is how it looks like. You have blocks and containers and elements. So I'll show you one of these websites, that sales pages that I've created for one of my products. So if you are one of my customers who bought these reseller bundles, you are getting a copy of this one, and you will just simply edit the features, the blocks, or maybe just the elements. You can change the backgrounds, you can change colors, you can change the text, and you can change whatever details that you want to change. No? For example, this one here, I'm clicking on the entire block. All right, up to here, this is one block, and inside this block there is one container here, and this container now contains the text element. All right, now this next container is a container with two columns. All right, the first column has an image, the other column on the right has text. All right, it has a button, so you can put containers inside containers, unlimited, so that you can maximize. You can do as much customization as you want. So, for example, here, you can have a separate container for this title, separate container for this list. And so what is the reason for creating different containers when they are just text? Is because you might want to customize this, you might want this centered, and you might want this to justify to the left. If you just put all of this in one container, then if you center this title, it will center everything else. So that's why it is wise to just put as many containers as you want for every element, so that you can create, you can customize it, and it won't affect the rest. Okay, so going back to the checklist, so the first thing you would need to have is, of course, a domain name. If you use GroovePages and you are you just have a free account, you need a domain name so you can publish it. You can use a subdomain. As of today, I think you can only use a subdomain if you are a paid member. So you can use like yourname.groovepages.com. But if you are under the free account, then you need to create your own domain name. And I included a link here for Namecheap. It's one of the best domain registrars, and in fact, like more than 90% of all my domain names are here. So I'm including a link here. If you want to buy, there are very affordable domain names, like you can buy them for $1 for a year, sometimes $10 a year. So it depends. You just have to choose which one is a good fit for your brand. Now, I also recommend you open an SSL account with Cloudflare. You put site security for your domain name. It's totally free. So there's a link here also. I'll show this later on. Now, these are the integrations that I recommend. For autoresponders, I recommend GetResponse. They have a free account as well. So what are autoresponders? It will automatically send out messages to your customers, and maybe you can design an email sequence. You can deliver your messages, your attachments, your gifts. So everything will be automated. Now, I use GetResponse personally. I like them because I like their chat support. If you have a problem, you just chat with them inside your account, and they respond in most of the time in under 1 minute at any time of the day, 24/7. So I've had a good experience with them. That's why I recommend GetResponse, and there's a link here as well. Okay, so you need a payment processor because so you can accept payments. So here in the Philippines, GrooveSell will integrate with PayPal. They integrate with a lot of payment processors, but it's not available to Filipinos. But it's available to other countries. They can use Stripe or whatever. I think in India they also have payment processors that are accepted by GrooveSell. So GrooveSell is the card system for GrooveFunnels, and that's what we will be using here. Okay, for automations, I recommend Integrately and ManyChat. All right. So with ManyChat, some of you who are my customers here would know that I use a lot of automation when I communicate with you, especially for the first time. I'll show you my dashboard for my welcome sequence. So this is my welcome sequence for ManyChat. This will lead you with different options, whatever product you like. All right. So, of course, at first this seems very intimidating, but when you get the hang of it, it will be easier because you can even save this flow and just use it in another sequence. Like for example, if someone will comment on your ads or comment on your post, then they can automatically be sent here. Or you can create this as part of another sequence. You can just copy the sequence here. It's just one click. So I won't be going into this in this video because this will require a separate tutorial. But as I said, I highly recommend that you also open a free ManyChat account, and there's a link here that I included as well. Now, you will also need scripts for tracking for Facebook, Google. I recommend here TikTok, LinkedIn, and Pinterest, but I feel like you need to do the bare minimum should be both Facebook and Google. All right. Now, even if you don't plan on running ads yet, as I said earlier, it would be to your best interest if you already set this up in your website. And I'll explain why. It's been studied that customers will not buy during their first 1, 2, or 3 interactions with your ad, with your post, with your page, or whatever it is. Okay, it will require 7 to 15 interactions before they buy, which means that the money is actually in retargeting. The money is when your ads, your posts will be seen by your customers many times. All right. Now, since that is an established fact in internet marketing, it is important that we are able to send people who are already interested in our products, to send them back to our website, to whatever offer we give. And you can only do that if you have already set up tracking. Now, for example, I create a website about one of my products, and then I post it on Facebook. I'm not even running ads to it, and people are checking out my website. Now, 3 months from now, I decide that it's time for me to run ads, and I would like to show these ads to people who have already visited my website. Now, I cannot do that if I do not put in my Facebook pixel, and I cannot show them my ads at websites if I did not install a Google Ads tag. So once again, at first, this will be very intimidating. It will be difficult. It will be confusing. But once you start, it will be easy. And you just need to copy your codes, your pixel codes, your Google Ads tag. Just copy it in a notepad, and it will be a breeze. It will be fast. TikTok pixel, if you want to retarget the same people on TikTok, LinkedIn, or Pinterest, but they may not be as important as Facebook and Google. Now, if you still don't find it, you still find it confusing to install Google tags, then just start with Facebook. But please do not just post your website without any tracking. I tell you, you will regret it in the future. And I had that regret as well because I was running my ads for a long time. I only installed Facebook pixel, and when I decided to show them on Google, I had to start from scratch with 0 data. Now, after we have all this information here, we can now create our landing page. All right. So what I list down here is one landing page with one call to action. Only one kind. I mean, you can put so many call to action buttons, so many buy nows or learn more, but it should only lead to one product. And okay, so what you need with your landing page, you need those blocks, you need your sales copy, and of course you need your images and your video. So you prepare all of this so that when it's time for you to create your website, everything will be fast and everything is ready. Now, all of us, we have different ways of designing, how to start, how to plan. For me, I like to draw it out on a scratch paper, and then just to draw the blocks and the containers, and then to prepare first on an empty canvas at GroovePages. I just put up my blocks first, and then my containers, and then I put in the design. So, but now, since I already have a lot of designs, it's simpler for me because I just clone an existing website and put in my details. I change the colors, I change the elements, I change the text, so it's easier for me now. And it will be the same for you once you start creating these projects. Okay, so yes, I create a landing page, and then you can create one upsell page, and of course a thank you page, a confirmation page. So the thank you page is where you put your instructions and all other things that you want to say to your customers. In the Philippines, it's a bit tricky because most of the customers, in my experience, 90% pay through funds transfers, especially with GCash. So you cannot fully automate the process of selling a product and pushing an upsell because they will have to manually do it because GrooveSell does not integrate with GCash. So there's a big part of the sales process which will be manual. Okay, but it's not really. It's just like 5% manual, 10% manual, because even these messages, these processes can be saved in your cell phone. You can save the message that you will send when you confirm. All right, there are so many things that you can automate even if the payment process is partly manual. Now, I also create a membership site, which is part of the Groove system, Groove Member. It's where I upload files for product delivery. I'll show you my dashboard for Groove Member. If you click here, all your files, you can see all your files here, and you can just get a link of all products, and you can include it in an email or inside the membership site. And Groove Member setup, there's a version 1, version 2. I'm still using version 1 because version 2 is a new design for Groove Member, and I want it to mature first before using it. So we have a membership portal where you can see all memberships. And inside the memberships, there are different levels of access. And in fact, you can adjust the content delivery time, meaning you may want a person who join now to receive some products every day or a certain moment in time, or you can have them receive everything all at once. So this is Groove Member. Now, our cart system, our selling process is created at GrooveSell. It's where you create your funnels, all these integrations above. That's why I listed them here, because they will be needed at GrooveSell. So don't worry, I will explain this in a while as we go through the process one by one. So I'm just sharing with you an overview of this system. Okay, so some of the things you need to prepare, of course, graphics. You can use Canva. I included a link here. You need an open graph image. So what is OG? It's what you see when you share a link. All right. So, for example, this is my website. This is one of my sales page. If I share it on my Facebook account, when you share the link, you see an image that is generated automatically with this link. And this is the OG image. Now, this one here, this is the OG title. So just prepare a title as well. And I will also tell you where you can put this inside GroovePages. Alright, so if you want to test it, you can go to Facebook Sharing Debugger. Here I included a link. Yeah, here, sharing, just click this and it will open this up. If you put your link here, click debug, it will show you what will be seen to the public when you share your link. Right, so if you change something, you just ask Facebook to scrape again and it will update their details. Okay, so if it's a fresh website, newly published, it might not show anything here, so you just have to ask it to scrape or to fetch new data. Alright, so this is where you can test so that you don't have to post it on your account. But I kept this private so nobody can see this. Alright. Now, so you can prepare your graphics in advance. To promote, you might want square graphics because it will fit nicely with Facebook, with Instagram, with Google, with LinkedIn. I think with most platforms, square will fit perfectly. And after you create this one, after you launch, then you can create other formats. At least having a square graphic, square resolution will make you launch your products to as many platforms and maximize the available space for your graphics. Because if you just include a rectangular design, it will not occupy so much space in a person's cell phone, and it might not get as much attention compared to putting up a square image. So you might also want to create a story format so that you can post in Instagram Reels and Instagram Stories, as well as Facebook Reels, Facebook Stories. And you can create thumbnails so that your videos will attract right away, to attract attention right away, compared to if you just allow YouTube to randomly pull up a certain snapshot from your video and make it as a thumbnail. So you also need to have an email sequence. And I recommend here Zoho Mail. I put a link to Zoho Mail. Zoho Mail allows you to use your domain name so you can have a branded email. Like, for example, for me, I have greggygatal.com. Then I can have Greggy at greggygatal.com instead of using Yahoo or Gmail, because it looks more professional, and of course it will help you with your branding. I will be having a separate tutorial for this, because it will make this video very long if I include this Zoho Mail setup in this video. Now, okay, so you can create your workflow first, and then you can create a list. And your autoresponder, it means the email sequence that you want the new customers or new people on your list to receive. You can even create autoresponder emails for the next 365 days. So automatically, if a person buys from you or gets in your list through an opt-in, or maybe they got something free from you and you ask them to opt in first, you can set up certain series for the next 1 year so that automatically they will receive all these emails. As I said, it will be tedious at first, maybe confusing, but it's already there and it already automates for everyone else. Alright, so I will not go into this for now. So we can start with our setup for GroovePages. So for this presentation, I will not be talking more about creating your websites at GroovePages, because I have an existing video on that already. So if you're watching this from a channel, you see the link in the description, or if you're watching this from any page or from a blog, then you'll see the video right below this one. I also create a link in the checklist, so you see it, you'll be able to watch it first before you proceed here, or you can watch it later. I also have another video about the membership site, how to create one, so you can also watch it after this. But it's important to create this Groove page and Groove member before creating GrooveSell, because GrooveSell will be the one to fulfill everything. When a person buys something from you, they will be buying through the funnel you will create in GrooveSell, and it is GrooveSell where you will design which product will be delivered to them, which membership site they will be a part of, and all other integrations will be created at GrooveSell, and I will show this to you in a while. Right, so when you go to your dashboard, GrooveFunnels dashboard, so you can see here all the apps, just click GrooveSell. Right, now I'll show you back to GroovePages. Okay, so if you go to the home page, you'll see buy buttons here. All these buy buttons will lead to a different checkout page. I just designed it that way. So one of these buy buttons will lead here, and if you are one of my customers of the reseller bundles, then you get this design. You'll have one click to have this design right on your own GroovePages account, so you don't have to start from scratch. Now, this is one of the GrooveSell forms. This is where people will fill out their information. This is where you can design your pricing, your description, everything else. So in the Philippines, it's a bit complicated because most of the customers buy through funds transfers and GCash. So you have to create a different page for that. Unlike in some Western countries where people just pay through card or PayPal, so it's easier to create a funnel. So I'll show you how you create your funnel. I show you one of the funnels here. Okay, so this one. Okay, we'll go through the process just so you get an idea how it is created. So when you create one, a GrooveSell funnel, then you will write the product name. Okay, this internal name, you'll be the only person to see this. Your customers won't see this, but this product name, your customers will see this. This is the description that your customers will also see. Now you decide if it's a front-end product, an upsell, or an order bump. Okay, now it's here. You can create different price points. Like for this product of mine, there's a starter pack, a freelancer pack, a business pack, and I also create a different price points for the same product, but I put a zero price. This is for funds transfer payments, for GCash payments, just so they can be registered and the product can be fulfilled through the GrooveSell checkout system. So you have a pricing here. So in fact, you can create different price points for the same product. Like for example, if you have another customer and you create a duplicate page for him, so you will see in this video how very easy and convenient it is. So with gateways, this is where you put your PayPal. As far as Philippines is concerned, there are different payment processors here, but only PayPal is available for us. Alright, so you just create a free PayPal account and integrate it here with GroovePages. You can set it up here. Just click it, this set up gateways, and you can set up everything here. Alright, and you go to contents. So of course you have a sales page and you have a thank you page. This is where people who purchase your product will be sent to. It's like a confirmation page. So for every price point, you will have a different thank you page. So these are pages that you create already at GroovePages. So it is important that you create your websites first. Otherwise, you cannot put a confirmation, the address of your confirmation page. So you put your refund period and support information where your customers can contact you for any problem. And here is how you will design the checkout. Like for example, what this one. So you can change, you can customize the colors so it will match with your theme. Okay, you can put the product image here. You can customize the size, the font, and the button text. Alright, so here it is. So form fields, like what you want the customer to fill out. So like this one here, first name, last name, email, country is already there by default. You cannot change it, and you can choose to have him send over his phone number or not. Alright, so these are different options. All these tutorials here can be found at Groove Digital official channel. So we just use full checkout experience for each purchase. Now cart abandonment is for example, if a person fills out the cart but does not proceed to pay, then you can create an autoresponder sequence, an email sequence, so that you can remind him about his cart, about his purchases, and tell him that maybe he wants to purchase it and maybe he just forgot it. So you can create a sequence here. You can integrate autoresponders, or and this is where you can track. You can put the tracking here, tracking codes from Facebook or Google. Show your legal pages here, terms and conditions for every price point, language for every price point, quantity. But since these are digital products, there are no quantities. No, this is only sold. I mean, you don't buy two files. And also password. If you want to ask for a password, so I show you what this means. Okay, here you see the GrooveSell form. We are asking for a password. What's the purpose of this password? It's for them to be able to log in to their membership sites, because one of the products, as far as my products are concerned, they are all fulfilled inside a membership site, and I want the customers to create a password first so they can access immediately after they pay. All right, so here at number 6, you can create order bumps. We have a pre-sell order bump and a post-sell order bump. So what is a pre-sell order bump? It is right under, you can see it at the checkout, but I did not create an order bump here, but you can actually design one. Like, for example, you would advertise a 500 peso product, and then when a person clicks that checkout, they'll see there an option to pay for an add-on. So that's a pre-sell order bump. That's before they pay. Post-sell order bump appears after they pay. All right. So in the form, you can also design an order bump that is after they pay. So you can design it here. If you the preview will appear here, so you can just experiment on this. And pre-sell order bump, you can also design how it will appear. It will appear like this. All right. It will appear like this on your checkout. Okay. So I did not include this order bump because I found it easier and more convenient to just create different price points instead of an order bump, because, as I said, people usually buy through funds transfers, and it will create a lot of complications. So I would rather, let me show you my design. I would rather just put 3 different price points and the different descriptions on this side. All right. So when they decide to, when a customer wants to purchase through funds transfer, so I create another checkout page for it, and I'll show you where it is. Like, for example, if they want to purchase the 97 bundle through GCash, BPI, or Union Bank, they'll be sent here. Now, take note to my customers, all of these pages are yours. This will all this will all propagate inside your dashboard, and you only need to change the colors, the background, the designs, whatever. But the setup is already there, so it will be easy for you. Now, this one is form for GCash. If you notice, there is no price, right? Because they will pay manually, not to GrooveSell. So they only need to register here and put their account, create their password, so that they will have access to the membership site. And I'll show you the fulfillment, all right, for, wait. All right, so after they register here, they will have their own account, but they will only have access to that free level, and they will have to send their proof of payment before I unlock the next their access based on the purchase. So it's an additional layer of manual work, but we have no choice because more than 90% of customers pay through funds transfers. Alright, so let me just review this. Alright. So in the fulfillment section, you'll have membership sites. So with starter pack, this is if people will pay by credit card or PayPal. But EFT, this one stands for electronic funds transfer. If they pay through GCash, okay, take a look at the access level. It's basic. Starter pack here, there is the access level. It's also for starter pack. It's because they have already registered here, but they have not yet paid. So if they, once they pay, I will make adjustments inside the membership site so I can change their level to their access to starter pack if they paid for starter pack, freelancer if they paid for freelancer, business pack if they paid for this level. Okay, so let me show you. Maybe I can show you how it looks like. So we go to Groove Member. I cannot show you because it will show some private information of customers. But anyway, it's very easy. It's just a drop-down menu. I will just go to that person's name, and from basic pack, I'll upgrade him to maybe freelancer or starter or business pack. It depends on his purchase. All right. Now integrations, I did not integrate with anything within the GrooveSell platform, but files. All right. So you can choose to automatically send files to a person who has paid. Now these are files that have been uploaded already at Groove Member. So if whatever file you upload, then you can choose those files here, and every time they make a payment or every time they complete a form, automatically Groove will send those files through email. Right, so now webhook, this is where automation comes in. So I will not be discussing this here because this will require a different a longer video, a different video, and I'll have another one for that. As you can see, I use Integrately to automatically, like these automations here. This one is, I think this is for my autoresponder, so that every time someone fills up the form or purchases from me, this will automatically send those details to my list, and then those lists will be receiving emails from my autoresponder. So I'll show you some of the automations. So I'm using Integrately. And alright, okay, this one. So every time someone purchases my social media toolkit front-end product from GrooveSell, all those details will be sent to my GetResponse autoresponder account, and from there, from GetResponse, I've already created a sequence of emails that you will receive. So, yep, that's how to automate everything. In fact, you can create a sequence such that a person can receive emails automatically the rest of the year. So it depends on how you really want to do your sales process. Alright, so affiliates, actually you can create an affiliate program inside GrooveSell. So you can actually invite other people to sell your products and give them commissions. In fact, I already created an affiliate system for this, but I have not created a program. So that the complication with the Philippines is that, as I said earlier, people pay through funds transfers, and it might be difficult to track because the value in the GrooveSell checkout is 0. So I'm still trying to create a workaround so that my customers can also be my resellers without them creating a different system, just to use their link to sell my product. And it's really amazing. It's fast as long as I can already finalize the process to do it with GCash and other funds transfer option. My problem is since I create a checkout for a basic plan. Now, if that person registers but does not proceed to pay, then it might create a confusion because it will credit a commission to my affiliate, but when in fact I did not receive any sale because he did not really actually pay, he just registered. So that's what I'm trying to fix right now. Now this is proof widgets. Okay, I'll show you what it is. This one, these are proof widgets. This has wait. This is known to increase conversions because it creates a bandwagon effect, and when people see that there are a lot of other people buying your products, then yep, it somehow increases the credibility of your product. So you see here in the lower left corner, these are authentic purchases. These are real people. So you can create this proof widgets and embed this in your website. There, Groove has a tutorial on how to do this. It's very short, so I would not want to make this video very long. So anyway, the most important part is how you create everything, the entire process here, and the details can be found in the official Groove Digital channel. So when you finish it, it's there. Just save it. And this is just part one. The next part is creating the checkout links. Okay. So what's important is the significance of those links is that you can use them even if you create your websites outside Groove. Click on the tools. You see here checkout forms and links. Okay. So we create one so you can go through the process. So it was graphics treasure chest. Right, so I already have links here, so you can actually create links based on the funnel that you just created. So there's a different checkout link for paid pricing and for zero pricing for free signups. So let's just create one sample. Right, save and next. Okay, so we'll use one-step checkout. So just for example, just one price point, all right, for this starter pack. Okay, so you can customize here. It's up to you. Now you can check what information you want the customer to fill out. Passwords, if you want to collect password. Now you don't need to collect username because the username is the email address. But if you are automating this to be fulfilled in another membership site which requires a separate username, then you might as well just ask for a username. Okay, so tracking is here. And then that's it. You have your links. So I'll show you what this is. If you click on a link which leads to, I'll click on a button which leads to this link, this is what will come out. It's a single page with the checkout that we just created. Here it is, 97. We ask for a password. Okay. Now, if you can embed this form on a website, I'll show you how it works. So, if for example this one, you can change this. When you, since I to my customers, I sent you this page, you can change this to your own GrooveSell checkout buttons. Just press configure. Alright. And then this is the one that we created earlier, sample. Update. So my internet is quite slow, so yeah, here it is. Alright, so it has changed. Now it's this one, 97, what we created. Alright. Okay, so going back to our checklist. So we have the video for the membership site. And And for the funnel, that's what we just created today. We'll have another video for the pixels, for the integrations, because it will make this video very long if I put this inside, right? And so this is it. So Zoho Mail is free. If you want to create a branded email, it's free. And I will also be releasing another video on creating your own branded email address. And that video will include Namecheap and Cloudflare. So yes, free resources I use. There's a link here. Everything is here already. And I hope this will help you build your online business. And if you have any question, just put them in the comments and I'll answer them. Okay, so once again, thank you and happy learning.